appreciate your deep insight there. We have other customers that I think have echoed what you've articulated, especially in one area where, when a pod leader was managing a new person, when they didn't have S2Q, they really had no way to really gauge or help activity of a new employee, or were they even quoting properly? And the moment they started actually looking at the data that S2Q provides, it's almost like walking into a dark room and turning the light on for the first time.
Yeah. Before S2Q, before we were able to gauge, how many quotes a new salesman was getting, their effectiveness in quoting, how often they were able to take a quote and actually translate that into a shipment. Really, one of the only metrics we had was how many calls they're making. We have a very sophisticated VoIP voice calling system, but broker success, it's not directly correlated simply to just calls, right? So we needed something else. We needed an additional tool to check and keep an eye on, especially our newer hires, to see if the phone calls that they are making are translating into opportunities. And S2Q was really the first good option that I've ever been presented that did that, and that's why we chose to go to S2Q and why we continue to use them today.
Appreciate that. I think, and also one other thing, that we hear is, when new hires come in, a lot of times it's sink or swim, right? For new folks, they might not get it, and I've heard from other leaders where by being able to really dive deeper into what the team is doing and able to show, hey, when you do these steps, you have success, it probably makes employee retention and maybe employee acceleration to get them faster through the new hire stage and into an active broker.
Yeah, what you said is right on point. This industry, sink or swim may be a little extreme. People develop at different rates of time. There are people that jump out from the very beginning and find success very quickly, and then they struggle later. There are also people who start very slow, but then they ramp up quickly after things kind of click, right? Using S2Q, it's allowed us to really gain more insight as to how quick they're developing, what they're struggling on, what customers they may have better opportunities with versus others. Another super useful tool or aspect of S2Q is it keeps everything, and when I mean everything related to sales and quoting, it keeps everything extremely organized. I've mentioned the online platform a few times. All the criteria, all the information that we import into our quotes, it stores that. And when all of our quotes for our newer or existing brokers, our salesmen, is stored in a central place, they then have the ability to recall that. And the number one thing that most brokers struggle with is follow-up. Following up is the most pivotal and important part of the sales process, because if you provide a quote to someone and you never follow up, well, you don't know. Well, if you were awarded the loan, great, that's awesome. But more often than not, when you're trying to develop a new sales pipeline, you're not going to be awarded the first opportunity that you're presented, right? So having the ability to have all your quotes organized, and S2Q reminds you to follow up and ask for that feedback and potentially pivot to where, if you did not attain that opportunity, what you can change to then get the next opportunity. So S2Q, keeping everything organized in their online platform, their web environment, is critical in the sales process, as far as logging the initial quote, reminding brokers to follow up, and then checking the conversion rate as to how many quotes they're providing versus what amount of business they're actually attaining.